Welcome back to The World is Storytelling. I'm here with Nick. Nick, tell us a story.
Okay, so I thought maybe I will tell you the macro and the micro one about how I got into what I'm doing now. And for a bit of context, that is Leafr, which is a marketplace for vetted sustainability and climate specialists, experts, scientists, whoever you need. And the macro one is, so my parents are Maltese, so a small island below Sicily. Used to be very much a bit of a kind of a marine paradise, amazing fishing scenes, amazing culture built around fishing. And about 25, 30 years ago when I was young, we would spend huge amounts of time just playing on the beach, doing a bit of fishing, but mainly just kind of, snorkeling along the reefs. And it was just incredible. You'd see bream, octopus. As a result of a lot of economic mismanagement, maybe a bit of corruption and bottom of the sea trawling, those reefs and that marine environment is now a dead zone. And I used to think that it was kind of like, everyone says this, like it was like nostalgia, like, it was better when I was young, but actually the Mediterranean is fished at 3 times its maximum sustainable yield, or around 3 times. And it kind of like, if you see something like that, it sticks in you quite deep. And so I was always curious about these issues. I guess that's where I started, from a general sense of wanting to work in the climate space, and then joined a consultancy because I didn't know what to do. I was just basically, like I think many people in those consultancies, quite lost at the start. Finally found an area within their impact and sustainability practice that I loved, and only then started to thrive. And that message of kind of finding the right person for the right role, or the right role for the right person, really stuck with me. And then my kind of jump off, and they're like the flashpoint into knowing that I wanted to go and start my own thing. A friend of mine, we both like music and like going to gigs and listening to it. We decided to put on a gig in our back garden. This was probably 5 or so years ago. And it was kind of like, our idea was for it to be so far sound style. Fairly budget, quite intimate, but also really fun. You kind of eyeball to eyeball with the artists. Hadn't really done anything like that before. And it was the most beautiful disaster you could imagine. So like,
tell us more.
Put on food, people came in, we tried to get everyone to pay. And bearing in mind, these are our friends, and it reflects terribly on the fact that they're our friends. Just no one paid, because it wasn't that they're dishonest people. We just didn't like ask them to pay when they came in. And we were just clueless about the whole thing. And yet it was the best evening ever. The artists were amazing. We ended up having to pay them out of our own pockets because we just didn't have any money from it. Lost loads of money on drinks, lost loads of money on food. But the feeling of seeing people come away from something that you've put together for them and really enjoying it and interacting with it was just like nothing else I'd ever experienced. And then in a very roundabout way, I ended up leaving that consultancy, started a social enterprise, which was a matching marketplace. Didn't really work, and wanted to figure out why. I went to study a climate-focused business degree, and on the way out of it, was reading about this kind of skills crisis that there is in the climate space, and ended up starting Leafr. And the whole point of what we're doing now is to try and attack that skills crisis. And I do think I'll bring it back to, if I was asked tomorrow to go and regenerate that reef, or to go and take any step to make an impact in the local environment, I probably wouldn't know what to do. And I do think that problem is repeated on a huge scale in the climate space, where we haven't done this stuff before. We haven't regenerated reefs that much before. We haven't decarbonized as a society. So we don't know what to do. And I always think that's the crux of what we're trying to do here, is get people who know what to do. And if they don't, get them trained up.
Awesome. Now, talking about gigs, that gig sounds like an absolute disaster. Have you been to any other disaster gigs?
I went to one last night. I didn't, which wasn't a disaster. It was Mos Def doing a tribute to MF Doom, who died a few years ago. I mean, he's Mos Def. He's a legend. It was weird though. It's like it's a weird artist trying to play a weirder artist.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it. I love both of them, but it was lots of strange bird noises and beeps and whistles when he should have been doing songs, But I had a great time.
I like that. I mean, sometimes the weirdest gigs are the best ones.
Yeah, for sure.
I was at a gig, recently, it was about a year ago now. They had a 2-minute silence in the middle
For who?
for anyone who's in shit around the world, which was quite a nice thing actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've forgotten the people are in shit a lot when we do silences. That's good.
Yeah.
I've also done gigs. I've been lucky enough to play in a few gigs, and you were talking about that, and I just remember like they can be a nightmare to put on. They're even more of a nightmare to play in, I always think. We've had ones where, you know, like I was playing guitar and like my bass strap snapped in front of everyone, or I was playing drums and the cymbal fell on me. Our violinist string broke as we walked on stage. This is all in the same gig.
Yeah.
No one could hear us. Our singer was too drunk. And it's pure chaos. And but again, it's a beautiful chaos. You know?
I was once in Greece for work, and I was invited to some session in the university, which was part of the program we were running. And I get there, and we had to act like ducks for 2 hours. And
they're playing a prank on you.
No, everyone was doing it. It was a big ballroom kind of, and there was at least 100 students and a few other people like myself who were there, and it was wonderful. It started off being so bizarre. Everyone was self-conscious. Wait, I'm a duck, but then everyone's a duck, so
There's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Yeah, and it was so. Oh, it was amazing. Now I don't know why that came up, but there was, I guess, the bird sounds, the ducks, things like that. Have you ever been asked to be a duck?
I've never been asked to be a duck, not to my knowledge. I have been asked to pretend to be an animal, I think. Again, but in those situations, it's like much smaller crowd. I never broke through the barrier of embarrassment because I think they ended the exercise.
Yeah.
Whereas I think if you're like a young kid, you're like, great, I'm a duck now, and then your whole universe is the duck's universe, exactly. Immediately.
Yeah. Why Leafr? Why the name?
So, I actually don't love our name. Gus, my co-founder, really likes it.
I love this. Perfect. Yeah, a bit of drama in the in the name sounds.
Well, I picked it in a day. I picked it in like a second because I thought Leafr, it's like the standard, quite boring, basic, evocative of the environment. But then also you're leafing through things, so you're leafing through almost names. It's also kind of similar to sites like Fiverr.
Okay.
But I just picked it because I had to test the concept, and then the website was created and it started snowballing really, really quickly, and we now have great SEO. We're kind of number one on Google, so I'm locked into Leafr. It's short and it's good, and investors like that it's short, and Gus likes it, and so we're sticking with it,
I mean, not that it's worth much, but I like it.
Thank you. People seem to like it.
Yeah.
If I'm the only person that doesn't, that's fine.
And it gives you a hook as well to say, okay, this is my company. I don't like the name.
Yeah, and a lot of climate startups have the word climate or sustainability in the name, and you just get lost. There's just hundreds of them. And I like that about Leafr, at least.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you, Nick, for coming on The World is Storytelling and telling us the story behind Leafr, amongst some other fun music stories. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you very much.
And that was The World is Storytelling with me, Ronnie. To support The World is Storytelling, make sure to subscribe, rate, follow the podcast, buy the book, and get in touch. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.